The warm month of May has arrived. The cold spring has passed, and the days are getting warmer and warmer. Many girls began to change their pants and jeans for short skirts, pleasing men's eyes. Today Eva wore a dress above the knee, exposing her legs to the bright sun. Now she stood in the crowded bus near the open window. The breeze didn't play with her hair much. This was how every morning started for the girl, except on weekends. A half-hour ride from the city to her place of work. As always, there were a lot of people, but Eva managed to take her favorite spot in the corner, where she was separated from people by a railing. She stood with her back to everyone and closed her eyes, exposing her pretty face to the spring sun. In her 24 years, Eva had been married for 6 years. Her love was, like many in her youth, bright, passionate, hot. After a year of dating, they married. Like many, after a few years their feelings for each other dulled. Making love became more and more not a desire, but a duty, although their feelings grew into something stronger, warmer. But neither wife nor husband had enough passion. Routine dragged its mire into the couple. Eva began to get better, which saddened the girl. Though she had always been thin, now the extra kilograms only added spice in some places. Blonde hair, blue eyes, size 2 breasts, and athletic figure had always been the girl's pride. And now, while riding on the bus, she was somewhere far away. Suddenly she felt something. She didn't even realize at first what it was. Strong male fingers were walking on the girl's ass. She wanted to turn around, but in the crush she couldn't. And when she tried to turn her head, the man's hand came down on her neck, slightly squeezing her from behind. Eva tried to pull away with her hand, but that too was useless. The unknown man stroked the girl more and more insistently. She felt her heart beating with fear and shame. These new sensations overwhelmed her. Realizing the hopelessness of the situation, she decided to let it be. Especially the owner of the hand turned out to be very experienced in such caresses. Eva was afraid that someone would see. She looked around, but no one cared about them. She remembered her husband. He'd never done that before. And there was no one else to compare it to. Yes, her lover was the only man in her life. It's a completely different movement, different hands, different smell. Everything is different. The dress was already slightly pulled up. Fingers were walking on the young body. The girl clutched the railing with trembling fingers, leaned a little. Let him finish his business quickly if he couldn't get rid of it. Though she was enjoying it more and more with each passing second. The sweetness from the tom was spreading throughout her body. The man adjusted her dress. Already in 5 minutes, the bus arrived at its destination. Everyone started to get off. Eva did not immediately turn around. For some reason, she was afraid to see the stranger. She was one of the last to get off the bus. All day she was not herself. Consciously, she realized that she had done something wrong, but the mood was great. "What's wrong with you, Eva? You're just flying today," one of her friends asked. "Everything is just fine." "No problem. It's a warm day, not much work today, so I'm in a good mood." She was embarrassed. "Oh, come on. You must have climbed over your husband this morning," she laughed. "Fuck you." She blushed embarrassed. In the evening, when Eva was already at home and cooking dinner, she was still remembering what had happened in the morning. When dinner was ready, she decided to meet her husband in a special way. She put on some nice lingerie, found some stockings, and put on a semi-transparent robe. "Hi, how was work?" Husband asked. "Everything is fine," quietly purred Eva. "Is dinner ready?" "It's not the only thing." "What else?" He froze, turning toward her. The hallway was half dark, and the light from the kitchen was streaming in, emphasizing his wife's figure beneath the sheer robe. His hands continued to remove his clothes as he approached his wife. It had been a long time since he had seen Willow so desirable. It had been a long time since they had enjoyed each other as much as they had that evening. After everything, she ran to the shower, and while her husband ate dinner, she cleaned herself up. It had been a long time since they had had it twice in one day, but today, the feelings for each other that had risen from the depths of memory had given her the strength of desire as well. In the morning, the mood was delightful not only for her. Her husband, as usual, had gone to work early, leaving her alone. She thought back to yesterday's incident on the bus. Somehow she was sure it wouldn't be the last time. Deciding to please her stranger, that he even if indirectly gave such a night with her favorite, began to choose a beautiful outfit. But contrary to expectations, there was nothing. Not despairing, dressed up and the next day, and was rewarded. He showed up again. Their trips became more and more varied. The relationship with her husband crept upward. This stranger gave a boost to the happiness in their family, for it affected more than just feelings. The husband, who was now always on the rise in the morning, worked more diligently, from which he began to move faster on the career ladder, and one day he was transferred to another city. Eva had a week to work, after which she and her husband would be moving. It was a pity to leave everything, but there was only one thing left, to say goodbye to this secret traveling companion. This morning, having put on stockings, a skirt, not forgetting about a blouse, she left the house. On the bus, having habitually taken her seat, she waited for him. A familiar hand touched her thigh. Leading the palm upward, Eva shuddered slightly from surprise. At that moment, she decided to go all the way with the stranger,